What's up guys, Zinigami here, and let's go through the 40 stamina Valentine's Day Luffy, or Donut Luffy. It is a event that's gonna be around on a Japanese version of One Piece characters for 1 week. It'll be gone for another week, and then next week we'll be getting a chopper event instead. So there is a 10 stamina, a 20 stamina, and a 40 stamina difficulty version of this island. The mini boss on stage 5 will be one of 3 random bosses. It will either be Porsche, Margaret, or Alvida, and all 3 of those characters do drop. You will get the story mode versions of Porsche, Margaret, and Alvida, that being Fat Red Alvida. There is no secret stage for this fight. This fight gives you, it also gives you a shot at a bunch of random rainbow evolvers. You can get like rainbow penguins and stuff like that. You can get cotton candy from the island, but most importantly, you can get the limited time Donut Luffy, which may or may not be back again. People always ask if any limited time characters will be back, and a lot of times Bandai puts those limited time characters back either on a return island, like for Halloween characters and stuff like that. They give us return islands for special events, or in the Rayleigh shop. Now on stage 5, if you get Porsche, she will have 500,000 hit points. She'll reduce damage taken by for 2 turns by about 50%, and she'll force you to target the giant behind her. The giant behind her has about 250,000 hit points, and she will attack every turn for 3,500. The giant attacks every 2 turns for 6,700. If you get Margaret, Margaret will despair your captain, just your captain, for 4 turns, and she will attack every turn for 3,600. Below 50%, Margaret will prevent all your recovery for 14 turns. Now this is the debuff that prevents you from getting auto heal, prevents you from using healing specials, and prevents you from using recovery orbs. So make sure you don't get her below 50%. And then you can also get Alvida, who has very high defense. Now the first team we're going to be looking at that I'm going to be using is the Blackbeard Shiki driven team. And with this team, it is very easy to ignore Porsche, ignore Porsche's damage reduction. We can also ignore Luffy's good hit barrier if we get the Luffy that is solo. So we get the Alvida. Alvida has only 60 hit points. She has 100,000 defense though. She'll preemptively rewind all your specials by 1 turn. And on turn 1, she'll gain a damage threshold, and the Blackbeard team also ignores damage threshold because it's super easy like that. So we're gonna kill all the guys around Alvida first, and then take out Alvida afterwards. Now a lot of teams that will be using a Golden Pound Usopp, and when you bring Golden Pound Usopp, you'll want to use Golden Pound Usopp on stage 5 most likely, regardless of whichever stage 5 you get. Things like Alvida with Golden Pound Usopp, you'll have plenty of times to take her down with just combo hits. With Porsche, you can wait out the despair, and with Margaret you can wait out the despair. With Porsche you can wait out the damage reduction. So Golden Pound Usopp on stage 5 is very easy. If you have enough health, you can also use the Golden Pound Usopp to delay Luffy after his debuff protection is gone, which with this team I'm using right here, you could replace Byron D. World with Golden Pound Usopp without too much worry. Because remember, all we need is 1 shooter, 1 striker, 1 slasher, and 1 fighter. The more driven characters the better though, because driven works with Shiki. Luffy has an interrupting ability. That's one of the special interrupting abilities we're seeing more and more often, where when you use a certain type of special, he will have a response for that. And what Luffy does is, the first time you use an orb shuffling special or an orb manipulating special, he will shuffle all of your non-block orbs, and he does give you more block orbs when he does that shuffle. Now that does not include specials that move move orbs, like using Doflamingo special. Doflamingo special will not trigger Luffy's special. So ideally you can do things like bring 2 orb manipulators. You'll see later I'm going to be using a shooter team, and you can use 1 orb manipulating special to trigger Luffy, and then the second orb manipulating special to get whatever orbs you actually want. Now Luffy has 2 different versions, either him by himself or with 4 girls. You can reset who Luffy blows away. Both versions of the Luffy will blow away characters. Both versions of Luffy will have 5-turn debuff protection. Both versions of Luffy will shuffle your orbs and give you block and bomb orbs and lock your orbs for 1 turn. Now the main difference between the 2 Luffys is that if you have Luffy by himself, he has a 1-turn good hit barrier, and if you have Luffy with a bunch of girls, you have to deal with all the girls. And the girls are the Giants girls, and they have about 120,000 hit points each, but they have somewhere between a 1 and 3 turn attack timer and attack for 7,000 damage. Luffy will attack for 5,500 damage. With a Blackbeard Shiki team, will have plenty of time to take hits. On both versions of Luffy, you want to avoid his below 30% health attack, because below 30% health he'll attack for 25,000 damage. So on this team, what I'll be doing is I will be getting him close to 30%, and then waiting until I can manipulate my orbs to the right spot. I'm going to be looking for 2 int orbs, and then I'll be using my Shiki and Doflamingo specials to burst him down. No point in really using Binding World or Smoker, because those 2 specials cut our health. Binding World, once again, can be replaced with anybody with like a driven shooter character or whatever else you have. Whenever you're fighting Luffy, if you're getting the good hit barrier one, remember that means you cannot use health cutting specials, but health cutting specials are very useful against the Luffy with a bunch of girls. Like Mihawk special is quite useful against the Luffy with a bunch of girls. Remember that end of turn specials like Fujitori's special, if you're using a Fujitora team, will still work on Luffy at the end of turn, because you will break his barrier from your attacks, get Luffy low, and then the end of turn effect will trigger after that. So here we're ready to go. We've got him low. We're going to be using Shiki Dofi specials, and then we will attack. And once again, remember, you can reset who he blows away. All you have to do is exit the game before your turn starts, and then once you come back in, Luffy will blow someone else away. It's a pretty slow animation, so you have lots of time to reset your stuff. Guys, check out all these other teams right after this. I've been Zenigami. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck getting your Luffy. It's only here for a week, so make sure you get him. Y'all stay beautiful.